this is your first video, my name is Caressa. If this is your first video, my name is Caressa, and welcome to yet another bookshelf unhaul. I won't be doing these every week, I promise. Let's just go through a couple more shelves together and see what we're gonna keep and what we're gonna yeet. So last time we talked, we purged the first 3 shelves of my bookcase, but I got a little bit weird towards the end. I was putting everything in maybe piles, and I thought, nah, I better come back to this. So I'm gonna go over the books from the bottom shelf there real quick, and then we'll start up here on the top shelf and move our way down. This right here is my ARC shelf, and we will not be tackling this until the very end of this process. She is the moment. She is everything. So without further ado, let's get into the book unhaul. First, from the bottom shelf, I am getting rid of Seraphina and the Black Cloak and Seraphina and the Twisted Staff. Basically because these seem kind of dark. For this bottom shelf, you'll see a recurring theme of anything that's kind of horror-esque. It's gotta go. It's not for me. Next, we have the Scandalous Sisterhood of Prickwillow Place by Julie Berry. This was marketed as a middle grade, so I was all about it. Seemed kind of fun and hijinksy. But it has been described in reviews as Clue-esque. My sister had this crazy Clue birthday party when we were little, and we watched the Clue movie, which, if you don't know, has a different ending every time. And as a child, I had very little tolerance for anything scary, and death is scary. So I have a little bit of trauma when it comes to Clue, and that's why this has to go. Next, we have Ironside by Holly Black. This is the 3rd book in the series. I do not have the first books in the series. I do not know if I am going to get the first books in the series. I'm not sure that I am crazy about supporting Holly Black in general. I have some of her books that I'm going to keep, but this one, it's okay. It can go. And last from that bottom shelf, I have The Coldest Girl in Coldtown by Holly Black again. This is sort of a post-apocalyptic story with vampires, and it is a little bit gory and has a lot of horror elements. So I am going to go ahead and let that go because I know Holly Black writes horror that truly scars me, and I don't need more of that in my life. Also, as a shout out, the other books on this shelf are E and E2, which are maybe books. I don't know if I'm going to read them or not. Really, the only reason I'm keeping them is because they seem like something my uncle would enjoy. It's a maybe. And I have Geektastic Stories from the Nerd Herd. This has all kinds of authors that I love. Definitely keeping this. It's staying. And that brings us up here to the top shelf. We are up to B, Black, Holly Black. So we're not doing particularly well. Although we have gotten rid of several things, so that's A+. The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black I am keeping. I read it, I loved it, and I imagine I will read it again at some point and continue on in the series. Then we have Jinx and Jinx's Magic by Sage Blackwood. I loved Jinx. I love Jinx Magic. Let me rephrase that. I love these books. The main character, man, he irks me. These are some of my favorite books. I am keeping them. Next we have Frostblood by Ellie Blake. I was reading reviews of this book and it seemed like it was very cliche, very YA. People didn't love it. And I thought, great, I can get rid of it. But this review by Mary from Bookhounds says, take an Arthurian tale, mix it with some Norse mythology, and sprinkle in a bit of fantasy. Heat well and then freeze. There you have the perfect read for winter. And man, if I'm not a bitch for mythology and Arthurian tales. So this one's a maybe. It's also signed, so that counts for something. I have some swag associated with it. We are up to Kendra Blake. This one's going to be hard for me. I think I should get rid of Anna Dressed in Blood and the sequel because I know it's scary. I know it's not for my palette, but I wanted these books so bad for so long, and I don't know, I'm kind of emotionally attached. Okay, listen, I should get rid of these 2 books. I know. I may never read them. They're very scary. They're maybes. Okay, we'll come back to it. Maybe eventually I'll be ready. Anti-Goddess is a definite keep. I want to read something by Kendra Blake, and I know Anna Dressed in Blood isn't going to be it for me. because it's too scary. But Anti-Goddess, I think I can handle. It's Greek mythology, right up my alley, so it's staying. Red Riding Hood by Sarah Blakely Cartwright. I've read some reviews. There are some good, some bad. A lot of people don't like that there's no definitive ending to it, but I am trying to be honest with myself. I do not think this is a book I would reach for, and I do not think I will miss it in my collection. Also, I haven't gotten rid of anything on this shelf, and we're several books in, so it wasn't going well. Hi, it's me. I took a break. It's about an hour later. I needed a moment to start editing this video and realize that I was not being harsh enough. So, we're back. Anna Dressed in Blood and Girl of Nightmares. I am never going to read these. These are super scary. So I am going to let them go, even though I love them. I love that they were a part of my life, and I respect that, and I will pass them along to someone else who will enjoy them nearly as much as I did. Okay, Anti-Goddess I am keeping. It is a Greek mythology retelling, and I love that. Love in the Time of Global Warming is a maybe. It is a Odyssey retelling in a post-apocalyptic world. It is very abstract, apparently, but I'm going to hold on to it, and when I go through my maybe category, we'll see what happens. It's Not the End of the World by Judy Blume. It is a divorce book. I love a good divorce book. I haven't read it, but I'm going to keep it. Deanie by Judy Blume. I have not read, and there are some medium reviews about it, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it along since this copy is not significant to me emotionally, or it's not passed down to me is what I'm saying. Judy Blume, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I read this. I don't think this book was meant for me. I grew up knowing about the birds and the bees, but I think this is an important book, an important part of a collection, and I think it speaks to a lot of people in the middle grade audience. So that is going to stay. Tiger Eyes by Judy Blume, I am going to pass along. Okay, so that's where I stopped last time, but I got rid of 4 more books this time, so we're on a hot streak. Blackwood by Gwenda Bond is a signed ARC, so I'm going to put this on the ARC pile, and we will evaluate that when we get to signed ARCs. The Hiding Place I was supposed to read for high school. I did not read it. It is a Holocaust book. I am not into Holocaust books. I think maybe some things are better left to history books. So this can go. Texting the Underworld by Ellen Borian. It seems like a really interesting premise. It's middle grade. I am all about that. It's staying. Vengeance Road. This one's gonna be tricky. Vengeance Road is signed, and it's one of my uppercase books, so it has some swag with it. Uppercase was like a book subscription box where every month they would send you a hardback book that was signed and had some swag with it, and they were picked out by readers for readers, and they had little read-along notes. So it was like a cool thing that I loved, and I did for probably a year. So I have some books there that I am not sure about, but they're signed and they have swag. So this one is a Western, and I have heard that it does not portray American Indians well. They're kind of the faceless boogeymen of the story. So that scares me, but all the other reviews that I have read are really positive. So I am going to put this in the maybe for now. Darkest Minds, I am going to read this. It was huge. I want to be a part of it. And Never Fade I am keeping for sure. I think we're doing okay. We have gotten rid of books, and that's the name of the game. I'm going to keep Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. It's like time travel and seafaring. I'm all about that, and I've heard great things about Alexandra Bracken, so I was so excited when I found this book for very cheap, and I am going to keep it. Next, I am going to go ahead and pass along The Case of the Fickle Mermaid. I got this because I was interested in how it compared to the Sisters Grimm series. This is like the Brothers Grimm series by a different author, But it is the third book in the story, and it is marketed as like a mystery as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it along. If I saw the first one in a store, I might read it. That's what I have to say about that. The Wonderful Ice Cream Suit by Bradbury. I believe this was my grandfather's, and also I used to have a friend who really enjoyed Bradbury. So I think I will go ahead and keep this for a while longer. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series, all in hardback. I've never read them, but a lot of people really like them. They're kind of modern classics, as people say. Let's put these in the maybe for now. Maybe. Let's just say maybe for now. I got 2 more books to go up here. I want to go to bed. I think I have enough content for a video. We only did 1 shelf today. Sort of. We did part of the bottom shelf and part of the top shelf. That's not good. Let's round up and say I did a shelf. And it took me an hour. And I have gotten up to B. Bray. Okay, in my defense, I think it was just a hard shelf because I'm looking at the next shelf and I can sort of on site tell you about most of these books. So let's just say it was a hard shelf and it took me an hour. And anyway, I'll see you next time. We won't be doing this next time. Do I have an outro? I don't